Alright. Welcome everyone to the What's Left podcast. John here with Jake and Brad. We are the Punk Rock Garage Band podcast, adding our voice to resistance as loudly as we can here on the Derealization Nation Media Network. Please, before we get started, do like and subscribe. It is election night in America. We still have those. Thank God for that. So if I hope that you all got out there and voted, um, and especially in states where you had big issues, but even when you didn't. Even the small issues are big issues. We're going to talk about all that. We've already got two winners, fellas. New Jersey, Virginia, big wins there. Abigail Spanberger becomes Virginia's first female governor. So that's also a pretty cool little aside. Um, I'll be honest, like Abigail Spanberger and Mickey Sherrill are not the kind of Democrats that fucking they don't uh they don't get me excited personally. Um, but in that they are not Republicans, I will absolutely do. And I don't mean that just as a fucking like red versus blue thing. I mean in as much as we can get them to agree to stand up to Trump is one thing. And one of the things that I liked was which we're going to talk about here in a little bit, is Mickey Sherrill was talking about withholding funds, tax funds from the federal government if they decide to try to withhold tax funds from them. So uh, just a couple quick thoughts, you guys, about election night. Did you vote? Anything big in your elections? And the two governors that we have so far.
I voted. Um, got with the wife after work. We went up and voted together. Pretty small um, ballot this go around. It was a couple of trustees for our township, um, one replacement levy for the fire department, and then the judges, just our local judges. Um, so I fully plan to run for trustee. Sorry, and our school board members as well. I fully plan to run for township trustee in the next election cycle. Fortunately,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow. I love you waited to get on air to drop that one on us. We've talked about this a couple of times.
yeah. So I fully plan to run for trustee in the next election cycle. I'm getting to the age now where I'm not a kid anymore, so I'm not looked at as a kid. Also, my past can't haunt me the same as it did 10 years ago or something like that. Um, so, but anyhow, trustees, board of education, um, cast my vote because that's my responsibility and my right as an American, and I'm so excited to do it. I am the same way as you about the two candidates that have already been declared in New Jersey and Virginia. Not necessarily who I want representing me, but I just like to see a big fuck you to Donald Trump because they scream about how Democrats are the lowest in the approval they've ever been. And, the red wave is coming and it's just going to keep getting worse and blah, they skip, blah, they skip. And America came out to prove that that is not the case at all. That is not the case at all. Um, we still have to see what happens in New York. I think the difference in New York will be greater than either of the two that we've already seen. Um, Donald Trump didn't and did not endorse the Republican candidate for New York City mayor. So that lets you know how good he is. He actually endorsed Andrew Cuomo, and Andrew Cuomo realized that it was the end of his campaign when Trump endorsed him. So he said, Donald Trump didn't actually endorse me. He's just anti Mamdani. So
Yeah.
please understand that it's not, he doesn't support me. He just doesn't support Mamdani, is the thing,
But Trump's been
which I
having
thought
a
was hilarious.
he's been having a full meltdown all day, and it's very clear. It's made it very clear whether he likes
Yeah.
it or not. That's his guy.
Remember when they told us
Trump's not big
Kamala
on
would be,
consent. Donald Trump. I don't know.
remember when people told us Kamala would be too emotional?
Oh my God, for
Mhm.
sure. You know
Oh,
what?
the jokes.
Oh my God, she disappointed me yet again today, though. But before we do that, I want to miss Jake. Your voting experience, the two governors. Go ahead.
Yes, I obviously voted. I love voting days. They're so much fun. We just had a couple of issues, small ones like school and elderlies, and then judges and school board or whatever the school trust, whatever they are. Wasn't
I think it's
much
trustee.
because there wasn't that many anyways. It's a small town. So you can only do so much. But I drove for sure, went and voted, came back, lived a life. Spam Burger, I think that is such a funny name. That is all I know about her. This is Spam Burger. That's great. And when Mandami wins, that'll be even better.
Agreed. Agreed. So Pennsylvania obviously was big races for the judges, retained judges. Also got to vote for a couple new Democrats in a couple of spaces. Retain our Democratic mayor in our suburb area of Pittsburgh. So it was a fairly consequential election out here. I think the poll workers said that the turnout was crazy. Our polling location is very small, so it wasn't like big lines or anything. But I went out and voted. Then I watched my nephews while my brother-in-law and sister went and voted. And so you got three to retain judges in Pennsylvania right there. Uh, Jake, let's go back to New York. Did I give you the picture of what looks like OJ Simpson's Bronco? The white Ford Bronco parked in a bike lane. Yeah, this is Andrew Cuomo. This is the capture says Cuomo parking his OJ truck in the bike lane is really the perfect encapsulation of his campaign. And yeah, I have to say I agree. This guy is a complete and utter disaster. If he gets any votes, I would be like shame on you, is what I'm saying. But he will. He will. Do you have I've had like having anxiety about it being closer than I don't know, that I want to believe in New York. Either you guys feeling that anxiety?
Solely because of the hope that I had last year, the day before the presidential election.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because I realized that wide-eyed optimism will crush your heart.
Yeah.
same. Like before that all came out, I did have like this weird gut feeling before I went to bed that night, and I don't have this one as much. Like I don't have as much worry as I did with like Kamala. Yeah.
Nice. I've got another great result to share with you. Democrat Aftab Purival was reelected as mayor of Cincinnati, beating back a challenge from Corey Bowman, who is JD Vance's brother. You may recognize him by his family's original last name, Bowman. Um, uh, but Purival was first elected 4 years ago in 2021. The office is officially nonpartisan. He is a registered Democrat. So there you go. Another Democratic victory in Cincinnati.
I now think Virginia is officially blue all the way through. I
No,
think the House, the Senate, and the governor is now blue.
Yes. The only real seat they were in danger of winning was AG, because that dude said some unhinged weird shit.
That's right. Yeah, he probably lost.
Democrats are celebrating another pair of victories, this time in Georgia, to Alicia Johnson and Peter Hubbard, who won the race to serve on the state's Public Service Commission. Um, this is those are the commissions that like watch public utilities, electric prices. This is an AI vote, an anti-AI vote. Um, According to the DNC, they're the first Democrats in Georgia to win a non-federal statewide election in nearly 20 years.
damn, blue wave.
Man, imagine that. Imagine that, bro. Imagine that.
That is crazy.
I wonder I wonder who they think is to blame for the government shutdown. I wonder if Donald Trump being ordered to pay or ordered to feed the people that he represents and refusing to, I wonder if that speaks volumes for what the Republican Party really represents. These people pretending it's a fucking government shutdown ran by the Democrats, and our president was ordered to feed his people and refused.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like literally making excuses, saying basically not even basically. He's defying a court order in order to not feed these kids. So he is breaking the law to starve children.
The
He's
evil government shutdown.
He just needs them to clarify, okay? Just so confused over there.
He is super confused, bro. He can't even remember who the fuck he pardoned, which I also want to talk about here in a minute. Um, Before we get there, though, still talking about this election, I I have to say the racism that is just the casual racism, even in like Democratic areas. I'm listening to like the Midas Touch Network, and I hate Michael Cohen, so I rarely listen to anything that he's on. But just 5 seconds I'm on there, and he's just fucking casually dropping racist thing, like talking about Mom Donnie in a racist way, like without even like realizing it, because it's like I don't know, we just casually do this. They talk calling him like want him to do things in an American way and blase skip, and it's like, bro, that is so y'all are so fucking racist about the Muslim community in this country, and like it's a big part of this country. Like it's a big demographic. And so it's I like the after the Michigan thing and the just the complete, just completely ignoring Gaza for an entire presidential cycle by both parties. It's crazy to watch like the Islamophobia in this mayoral race.
Oh,
Here
it's crazy.
and in Minneapolis, by the way.
I think that's part of the reason that Spamberger won in Virginia is because the other candidate was a black person.
Well, she would agree with you, that's for sure. She actually she actually said she couldn't she said that she couldn't understand. All right. So, yeah, it's crazy. Omar Fatah is also be on the ballot for mayor in Minneapolis. That is a ranked choice vote, so we're really rooting for him. But Trump actually posted a video of uh a net swooping up him and Ilhan Omar and dumping them back in Somalia with Trump flying the helicopter. I mean, this guy is just, he's a real racist piece of shit. And so are the people that fucking go with it. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. Like he's a fucking piece, he's a real piece of shit. And I just can't believe like how many people are still like, this is all right. But it is encouraging. This is why I think this election thing and watching these results come in is good, because it's like no matter what, like these people are rejecting the idea that this guy is normal with this election, you know? I think that's the one thing we were looking for. I also want to say this about I mentioned that I don't really care all that much for either of those Democratic nominees, but it's not about voting strictly blue no matter who for me. It's because, and I think I've mentioned this before, but politics, especially politics in a time like this, is a brawl to me. It's not a fight where you can afford to duck and move, and you are swinging and punching, and you cannot cede any ground that you've already given up. So if these people are willing to stand up for some basic civil rights and some basic, and basic bodily autonomy and things like that, like I have to stand with them because I can't back up to try to hit bigger right now. Like I have to keep pushing forward. You know what I mean? I can't, that's just the part of the fight that I'm in right now. I have to keep
because
swinging.
because right now it is definitely the lesser of the two evils. Right now there's a very clear lesser threat
Yes,
to democracy. There's very clearly a lesser threat to democracy right now.
right. I can I can't fix it if I lose it entirely. And so I have to have people that at least respect the process and respect people's rights. And then we can work backwards from there. Um,
That's why I have so much hope in Bob Dottie tonight, because that is what, like, obviously my little town where we expected 1,000 total voters for turnout today is not as culturally or ethnically diverse as New York City, but that is the pulse of America. New York City is, you know what I mean? It is the epicenter of the melting pot that we were told about as kids. That is what New York City is. So if Mondani wins and we see that this is where the Democratic Party is headed, that's the hope that I hope to get. Like Cuomo is still technically a Democrat, but like I would be heartbroken if he won. Like I would truly be devastated if Cuomo wins tonight
Oh
because he
yeah.
does not represent anything that I stand for.
No, and he doesn't he shouldn't represent anything that Democrats stand for. They should have immediately ran from him. Like it's sick. Any the people that stood with him, the Schumers and the Jeffries have made themselves ineligible to lead this party. Period. And I think the majority of I don't think I know the majority of people agree with that. Even an insider was saying today during an interview that like in private, every single member of the Democratic caucus will pause before they give their support to either of those two. Everybody knows they're not the right person for the job. And Schumer lost the Senate during the election. Like he lost seats, lost the Senate. In what world would you maintain leadership after a loss? That is completely. They talk about norms and regular order and all that other bullshit. That is way outside of norms and regular order. Like you lost, you don't get to try again. You don't get a fucking golden parachute. But I guess he does. All right. Um, let's talk about let's talk about Sandwich Guy real quick because this is fun. Jake, give me the first tweet, the longer one. Uh, so for those who don't remember, there was a video of a man who whipped his Subway sandwich at a ICE officer or in Washington D.C. They tried to charge this man with a felony account of assault of a police officer. They couldn't get any grand jury to indict him, so they finally had to reduce it to a misdemeanor. So they're having a jury trial over a misdemeanor sandwich toss in Washington, D.C. And you shouldn't be surprised because the fucking attorney for the city of DC is Janine Pirro. So like this is such a joke. It's hard to believe this is real life. So here's the tweet. It says big day at U.S. District Court in D.C. where Sean Dunn, the D.C. sandwich guy, is on trial for misdemeanor assault of a federal officer. Border Patrol agent Gregory Larimore is on the stand narrating surveillance video of the Sammy toss. Now he struck me with the sandwich, Larimore says. Oh, and then it goes on. It says Border Patrol agent Larimore testifies he was not injured by the sandwich, but he felt the impact through his ballistic vest. He says that the sandwich came apart and kind of exploded on his chest upon impact, he says. I could smell the onions and mustard.
When you first started talking, I was reading this, and I started laughing when he said I could smell the onions and mustard. My man actually, he's like taking on tear gas. I
Yeah.
could smell the condiments, dude. They were right there,
They're
right on my face.
right there. All right, so that's his claim. And since we're going to treat this like it's a real court case, Jake, we put the next tweet up.
So has any baseball teams reached out to this sandwich guy? Because obviously he's got some pretty nice arm. He's trying shit like that.
I mean, a sandwich is no easy thing to throw. So back to the sandwich video. The paper, as the defense points out, is still on it. You don't see the mustards on it. You can't tell there's ketchup on it, mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato. In fact, the sandwich hasn't exploded at all. Witness says the sandwich looks a little bent and out of shape.
This is crazy.
This is your federal tax dollars at work, folks. Federal tax dollars at work. Oh my God. So that's this
Imagine
administration's.
having to be the judge on that case too. Being like, oh shit, I got the sandwich case. Like, what the fuck? I don't want to sit here and listen to this.
Honestly, I think I would be excited. I would be so ready for that. I'd be like, you know what?
That's something you hear on Judge Judy or like the divorce
Yeah,
court. This is like
I
some like,
Fake court.
I
Well, that's
thought the
what
yeah,
prosecuting.
the judge is a TV judge. Like, it's
Yeah,
why it sounds, if it sounds like that, it's because it is that.
you got to hold the prosecuting attorney in contempt right off the bat. Be like, did you really bring this shit to my courtroom? You're in contempt.
You're in contempt. You're
You're
in
in contempt. This
contempt.
is ridiculous.
I'll
This
put this
is
on
I
my leg until it rains.
I hold myself in contempt.
my man. My man said the sandwich exploded on my ballistic vest. He was wearing a fucking bulletproof vest, and it's like, oh, forever damaged
Oh,
by the smells.
So what kind of
Oh,
sandwich was it? Just
uh,
like a turkey ham? Like
Subway. I forget. I had the details. I I failed to write them down. I didn't
the
prepare.
court didn't have them written down?
I'm sure it's court record now. It is the permanent record of the federal court in DC.
Yeah.
What was on that sandwich? So Spamberger's party is very big. Cuomo's party is being held. The watch party is being held at the Ziegfeld Ballroom in Midtown Manhattan, a luxury event venue built on Broadway's golden era. Go fucking figure. These people are so fucking out of touch.
Yeah, Zoran's been like club hopping and
Yeah.
His
just like
campaign is
walking down the street.
so
Dude,
fun to
yeah,
watch.
his PR team has figured it out.
And he's so good. Like on TV, he's quick. That you cannot trip this guy up. You can't do it.
And his smile's intoxicating
He,
because he like looks like he's actually enjoying what he's doing, which is crazy to see in a politician. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like somehow he's all business, but like there's still so much joy there. It's crazy.
All right. You guys want to get
Doesn't
angry?
mean
Yeah, you guys are having
yeah,
too much
sure, let's get
fun.
mad.
Let's get mad. All right. Here's Mike Johnson. That ought to help.
Um,
Here's what he has to say about people like us.
To go through just a couple of important facts. There is such a staggering amount of gaslighting and false information that Democrats are engaging in right now.
Yep. He said that right before he talked about how desperately Donald Trump wanted to get people their services and help starving children, but just simply couldn't do it. Um, so yeah, a staggering amount of gaslighting, guys. A staggering amount of gaslighting. Um,
That's like so. This is my question. We understand reality because we live in reality,
mhm.
but the people that still don't see what's happening, is that their only news source? Like, is their only news source just Fox News?
No, it's willful ignorance. It's
I
willful
don't.
ignorance. It is the
I just
same.
don't understand how you can't see reality around you.
Brad, the only answer I have for you is to liken it to addiction and to say that these people are addicted to this false reality and they have to protect it with everything that is in them, just like the false reality of the addict, right? Like that is where they're at. They are living in a world where their political identity, this Trumpism, and this happens to people in cults all the time too, but it is hardwired to that part of their brain. They think they need this for survival. And so they will make any excuse that they need to, which is why when I hear these people, especially now that the holidays are approaching, talking about like, you have to be able to love your and that's you process that the way that you want to. But much like a drug addict, your friends and family that voted for Trump, you have to protect yourself and your own sanity first. And if you have to cut those people off for your own mental health for a little bit or not talk to them as much, you are not loving them any less by not enabling their nonsense, right? You are not loving them any less by not enabling their reality. I don't know if you guys agree with that or not, but that's how I feel about it. I've been thinking about this quite a bit because I feel guilty sometimes not talking to my friends who are still in active addiction, and but there are boundaries that have to be set, and it is the same way for these people too. I don't know if I don't know. That's how I'm maintaining my mental health in this regard. I don't know what you guys' thought. What you guys' thoughts on that?
I 100% agree with you. Also, another route is you could go to your Christian family's family dinner and secretly take Jesus out of the manger. And then when someone asks where baby Jesus is, you could say that ice must have got him. That's also another option that my wife presented to me today when we go to her grandmother's house for family dinner. She's like, Brad, what if I just take the baby Jesus? And then when they ask where it is, I say, ice probably got him.
Well, see, here's the thing.
And
Like, you should leave the baby Jesus, but like zip tie his mom and throw it in the back of a van,
uh,
and then put a
but
military
yeah,
uniform on his dad with his hands up, like, "What happened to my kids and family?" Because that would be a pretty accurate representation. I like that idea, though. That's also good.
Yeah, that's just my wife is loves to be petty. Petty is her favorite color. That's my wife's favorite color all the time.
Like I said, you got to process how you got to process.
It's her jam. It's hilarious. But also, I agree with you. I like. I just don't feel like I have anything in common with you, family or not, if you're still currently supporting what's happening in America.
It's tough.
And it is tough. Like there are people that I love that I just no longer respect.
Yeah,
It
it's
doesn't
real.
change the fact that I love them. I don't want.
No.
I still don't want. I don't wish ill will on literally anyone at all. But I just don't respect you as a person, so I don't see the need to affiliate with you.
Yeah, I understand that. Jake?
I agree. I've cut people out all the time. If they're not bringing or serving you or supporting you in your beliefs and how you feel, there's no need for them in your life. All they're going to do is just nag you and bring you down, and then you're just going to feel guilt. Cut those people out. And the amount of people I've blocked on Facebook is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't need to see that. It's not what I want to see in the world. It's not what I want to see people posting about. Get them out. See you later.
Yeah. There was,
Unfortunately, I'm the one trying to have conservatives block me, so I haven't gotten rid of any of them because I'm clowning on them at every fucking chance.
I might post
But
a blue
it's
wave
exhausting.
tonight just to piss some people off. Imagine posting a big blue wave. They
shit. Hell yeah. Do it to it.
I've just posted the Statue of Liberty. That's all I'm posting is the Statue of Liberty.
I like
I've
that
used
too.
the I'll post a Statue of Liberty if she's done up in drag makeup.
Hell yeah. I'm sure that can be done. I'm sure you can find an artist to do it for you. Um, let's uh let's take a quick break.
Have her
And then we'll
torch
come
just be
back.
Mom Donnie. I'm sorry. Just have her torch be Mom Donnie.
Yes. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Uh,
Ah, I love it. I love it so much. All right. We'll be right back. We have no sponsors because corporations and billionaires are the fucking problem. And just to remind you, that AI data centers are poison. I'm going to share this quick video of what companies think of you. Saying the quiet part out loud, I guess, is one way of saying it, although I am really tired of that phrasing.
And nobody really wants a data center in their backyard. I don't want a data center in my backyard. So you do get a lot of pushback and you need buy-in from the community because you have to get permits to do that work. And you have government officials that they are elected by the community. They certainly want to make their constituents happy. And so you in turn have to make their constituents happy so that you can still get your permit and you can still operate there. Data centers, once they are operational, don't bring a lot of jobs. They do on the construction side, but you're not really getting a ton of that community benefit from having a data center really, truly in your backyard.
Yeah, we'll be back.
look, I'm not.
Oh,
Welcome back to the What's Left podcast on Derealization Nation. You can like and follow us on TikTok, Threads, YouTube, Instagram. Give us a like and follow. We love and appreciate all of it. And now we're going to talk about today's news.
yeah, let's get to some of this news of the day. I want to talk about Israel as we always do. Uh, Real quick, run through some of their latest atrocities. Israel invades Syria as it does periodically, especially since the Gaddafi regime has been toppled there. They just sort of took giant chunks of Syria. In the hostage swap, Israel has 8 hostages left to be turned over to them, while they're holding 60 Palestinian bodies. But as the news will report, only Hamas is violating the ceasefire, even though the Israelis have spent the day shelling buildings, leveling stuff, getting ready for new construction all over Khan Yunis and parts of Gaza. 240 deaths, 607 injured since the ceasefire was put in place. And the Trump regime is pushing a resolution in the UN to begin the transition board that will help with to initiate the Trump Gaza plan. That'll be the transitional government for the Trump Gaza plan. And notably, that resolution leaves Israel in charge of food distribution in the area, which is something they're not really doing. So that's the latest there in Israel. Still a terror state.
We gotta stop calling it a ceasefire.
Yeah, it's not a ceasefire.
I mean,
This is crazy. Hundreds of deaths, and we're giving them we're giving them too much dignity by saying that it's a fucking ceasefire.
words have no meaning anymore, it seems.
They mean nothing means anything. It's all made up,
It's
dude.
all fucking made up. We're just in a giant fucking episode of Whose Line Is It Anyway? Like people are just
Yeah.
pulling shit right out of a hat and talking it into reality. It's nothing. It's just a ball of nothing.
Yeah, where the points don't matter and the scores all made up.
Yeah. Just fucking we really could pull fucking news out of the hat. Um so the United States has continued to bomb boats in the Pacific, which is not, in case you're wondering, by Venezuela, just geographically different places. Um, I forgot my globe. I was gonna bring my globe over here, but then I'd have to listen to you two talk about how the Earth was flat. So I just fucking nipped that one in the bud. But
Thanks, Fed boy.
but go ahead and Google it if you're, because I'm not good with geography either, so I had to like double check myself. But yeah, no, they're not close. Um, so we're at war with Venezuela in the Pacific Ocean. Um, to make that make sense, the total body count there is 63 people murdered by the U.S. government.
That's insane.
Fucking incredible.
I don't understand. When did we just start punishing by death? I don't get that. I don't understand.
November 5th, 2024.
Yeah.
If you want somebody to thank, you can thank Dick Cheney's fat fucking corpse for making this fucking happen in the first place. Unitary executive theory, all this idea of the war on terror and giving the president the power to bomb discriminately without, as long as he doesn't send troops. Fucking thanks, Dick. Rotten hell.
That was a crazy transition.
I couldn't hold it in any longer. I was trying to save it for the end. But like we're talking about, you asked the question. That's the answer. Dick Cheney's the answer. Okay. I'm sure his company probably still made money off of those people dying. Anyway, three people killed. That's how Kamala Harris disappointed me again today with a loving obituary to Dick fucking Cheney. And she could have wrote that obituary for her campaign when she started bringing her daughter around. Ugh.
Bringing his daughter around.
His daughter around.
Yeah.
I said her? Yeah. Dick's daughter around, yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, the US also is bombing Somalia on the regular. That is something that the US does. If that seems confusing to you, as to why they would be bombing Somalia, well, just know that the UAE uses that airport to transport military equipment in and out of their war, to transport supplies to the RSF in Sudan. They also use it as a strategic strike base for military. And so to protect the airport that they utilize without Somalia's explicit permission, they keep them honest with a couple of fucking bombings every now and again. That's how that works. We don't talk about it much ever on any platform anywhere, but the US bombs a lot of places a lot of the time. And if we don't bomb them, Israel does it for us, including in Yemen, Lebanon. Israel bombed a Catholic mausoleum where the body of the first Pope, St. Peter, is supposedly held in Lebanon. Yes. It's hard to remember which ceasefire they're breaking when they do these things. So, yeah, all these Christians talking about Nigeria and stuff, which is also confusing. Yeah, Israel, your friend, is fucking blowing up ancient Christian burial sites. So it's really not about Christianity.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know what. I don't know what it is anymore. I don't know.
Yeah. What I acknowledged 3 people killed at a UPS cargo plane crash in Kentucky, 11 more injured, 2 are missing. Um, there's a pretty big explosion, pretty big fire over there in Kentucky. That's still a developing story, but I wanted to mention it because people died, and that's always a tragedy. And then let's move to uh, this. So we've been meaning to talk about this for a while. Trump pardoned the uh, mastermind behind Binance, who they were caught smuggling money for literally every single kind of criminal, including sex trafficking, child trafficking, Hamas, ISIS, Al Qaeda, and more. I'm going to forget all of them, but terrorist groups, child traffickers, you get the idea. Drug traffickers. And in the court filings, in case you thought, well, maybe they didn't know, they said they admitted to knowing this full well, that it was a criminal enterprise, that they were washing dirty money. So they get pardoned. This person who Trump pardoned helped facilitate the $2 billion buy of Trump's World Liberty Financial USD1 stablecoin by the UAE, helped facilitate that deal. And now this bozo has a pardon. And Trump, in his 60 Minutes interview, which if you could watch 10 seconds of that and think to yourself, here's a man who should have the nuclear codes, you're a psychopath. Something is fucking wrong with you. But here is one of the many things that happened. Here's him talking about the pardon. And we'll talk about this on the other side.
Why did you pardon him?
Okay, are you ready? I don't know who he is. I know he got a 4-month sentence or something like that, and I heard it was a Biden witch hunt.
In 2025, his crypto exchange Binance helped facilitate a $2 billion purchase of World Liberty Financial's stablecoin. And then you pardoned CZ. How do you address the appearance of pay for play?
Well, here's the thing. I know nothing about it because I'm too busy doing the other.
But he
I can
got a
only tell
pardon.
you that.
But he got a
No,
pardon.
I can only tell you this. My sons are into it. I'm glad they are because it's probably a great industry, crypto. I think it's good. You know, they're running a business. They're not in government.
This man, this man has been talking about Joe Biden's auto pen
Right.
nonstop. Pardoned 1,500 January 6ers, had no idea who they were. Just pardoned them wholesale. Pardons this guy, says he doesn't know who he is.
Wholesale is crazy, John.
Give me a different word for it.
That's right. No, I get it's the perfect word.
Yeah. And now this guy, who he clearly knows what's going on, or he's clearly fucking demented. I don't know. You guys got a guess here? Is
He's
how
not demented. He's
what?
just evil.
Yes. So this is like this is a flat out lie, right? There's no odd. There's no chance that he doesn't actually know.
No, he knows exactly what he's doing. Too busy, my ass. He just had a party at your house in Florida.
He's played almost as many rounds of golf in his first year as people do in like a 4-year presidency. He's not busy.
He's
Busy
not.
is not the thing that he is. That's for sure.
It's just very clearly criminal acts right in our face.
Yeah.
And he's just like, well, I don't know anything about that, dude. That's not me. I don't know. My kids aren't in government. I have no idea what you guys are even talking about. It was just talking.
The only people articulating this well are Chris Murphy, the senator from Connecticut, and South Park. Like, I don't know if you've caught any of South Park, but South Park is articulating this perfectly. The boys have a meme coin They have to go to the White House for approval. Like it actually makes it make sense and really easy to understand why. Other than that, though, you can't find somebody who's articulating the corruption well. And it's just so, is it just like too big to be digestible? Like, is it just so hard to understand how much, just like, if even if we just focus on this one thing, a $2 billion investment in something that they can't lose money on, or the Trump coin, where it's a meme coin and it's actually worth literally nothing and they can never lose their money, but people are constantly losing their money and they make money on every transaction, whether it's a buy or a sell. Like it should be illegal to do it all, to be honest with you. But like, I don't know. Is the problem that there's just too much? Is it just too much? Does it shut your brain down?
I think that it's so like huge that people are like, who are just like, there's no way all this is illegal, right? Like he's got to be. This has got to be acceptable for him to just be doing it right out in the open like this, right?
Right. Nobody would be this stupid. That's
Yeah,
that's what's
right.
running through
Yeah,
people's
that's
mind.
almost like what it is. Like it's almost like unbelievable just because there's no way this is real life.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people didn't take the time to understand like Bitcoin and stuff. Like no one really cares enough about it. Like if you didn't do it, you don't know enough about it to be like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have as much of an impact if you don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think that's it. I just don't know. I mean, it's not just that. I mean, there's the plane, you know, there's the plane. That was pretty easy to understand, but people forgot about that already. There's this fucking ballroom that's, but people are like, well, the taxpayers aren't paying for it, but they don't see how that's corruption. I just That one just seems like you're just being
The
stupid.
taxpayers are paying for it. Don't you fucking worry about that.
For sure. They're paying for it twice because you gave that money to the billionaires when you gave them their subsidies to keep their businesses running. And then they're getting a fucking deep dive, more money back by not having to pay taxes on the money that they donate to this fucking ballroom. So yeah, they're not hurting. Um, the economy's health overall too, by the way. Um, Another $25 billion pumped into banks by the Fed. Um, 20 after 29 billion over the weekend. Not a sign of health at all.
And if anyone was wondering, uh, 3/4 of a trillion, I say that with a T, 3/4 of $1 trillion was wiped from the stock market today because someone was like, are we sure AI is really worth $5 trillion?
It's it's not. That's so
Essentially,
funny.
that's what happened. Like they're like it was because over concerns with valuation. Well,
Yeah.
no shit, dude. It's a fucking no shit.
What I couldn't find, so there was reports that the guy from The Big Short, Michael Burry,
Yeah,
had shorted like $1.1 billion worth of Nvidia and Palantir, and I wasn't sure. I couldn't figure out if that happened before or after this. Like,
after the he
did
would have
he hit
crushed.
this? Did he hit
He would have
this?
fucked. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
Hmm. That'll be
I
interesting.
have
What the
no
well,
clue.
I have to do further research to that subject.
But I mean,
But,
it was bad today. The stock market did not do great today.
yeah, I would say that probably shorting Palantir and Nvidia is probably not a terrible idea.
Yeah, I don't know,
Not that
man.
anybody could afford to, but you know,
Yeah, three
crazy.
quarters of a trillion dollars right from the market today. Actually, 700 billion, but we're rounding around here. We'll call it 3/4 of a trillion.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's that's good. I want to talk about one more thing. Uh and that is just the lack of knowledge that anybody has. This clip has been going around, and we're gonna play it too because it is just like mind-numbing uh how I don't know how little anybody seems to know about anything. And Mike Johnson, he is the Speaker of the House, third in line for the presidency, one of the ostensibly most powerful men in the country.
I don't I don't know anything about that. I didn't see the interview. You have to ask the president about that. I don't know any of the details of that yet. I just heard about that literally. I was walking in. I don't know the details about that. I've just read it. I didn't talk with him about that. I don't know the latest developments. That's the first I've heard of that. I don't know anything about it. I don't know what you're talking about with the children. I haven't seen that, so I'm not going to comment on it. I don't know anything about the meme coin thing. I don't know. That's the first I've heard of that. I don't know anything about it.
I don't know. I've never seen the Epstein evidence.
I haven't seen the specifics of that. I don't know the details. I just saw a headline this morning. I haven't seen it. I can't comment on it. I've been a little busy today.
Look, I don't know anything about the dinner. I was a little busy this past week.
I don't know anything about it yet. I've been really busy.
Do you support those comments or not?
I don't know what Eric was saying because I only heard just a snippet there. I don't know the context.
You just saw it, sir.
I love how they say they're so busy and then have no fucking clue.
Yeah, the House has been in session for like 20 days or something.
Right. Exactly. They've had 54 days of vacation, but this man's just working his fucking little tiny fingers to the bone.
Yeah, you're just doing interviews trying to divide the country as much as you possibly can.
Just fucking flat out running interference for fucking pedophiles. Like, that's it. That's, what he does best. That is his one qualification for the job. There were so many other qualified, more qualified, I'll say, because I feel like running as a Republican in the Trump era is disqualifying it. You're fucking should disqualify you from society in general. But so many people who could have been better actual speakers of the House, but they didn't want a real speaker of the House. They wanted this guy. This is what they wanted.
Yeah. He definitely plays the role well for what they're looking for.
Absolutely, which is nothing. They just want people who are either beholden to them or will suck up for them and do whatever they want when they want.
Yeah, it's just yes man, and he is a yes man.
One of the best. One of the best. All right. I think that's pretty much it, guys. We want to give a little obit to Dick Cheney. Do you guys have anything to say on that?
Man, you reminded me today that man worked in the Reagan administration, and if I'm gonna say when it all started going real bad, it was the Reagan administration, and it only got worse. And one constant in that equation was old Richard Cheney.
Listen, old Dickie Doo was a fucking in the Nixon administration. This fucking dinosaur, this Nosferatu, has been fucking creeping around Republican politics for decades. He has been profiteering off war for years. He is responsible for the deaths of literally millions of people. All right. Jake, do you want to say anything before I fucking officially eulogize him?
Sure. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't know who this man is, but before the hate comments go crazy, you have no right to say or tell me who to feel guilty about dying because there's a lot of people who have passed who I feel guilty or feel sad about, and no one gives a shit. So just want to make that clear. Same thing happened with Charlie Kirk. You do not have the right to be mad at someone else for not feeling sad about someone else dying.
Yeah. I feel like this one may even like cross a lot of partisan lines because anybody that lived through the Iraq War lived through it because of this fucking man. He leaked a story to the New York Times that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. The following morning, he went on Meet the Press. This is before the internet was a thing like this. Went on Meet the Press where people got their news. And the vice president of the United States, who's supposed to have some sort of fucking trust, people should be able to trust to some degree, went on and cited the story that he leaked, cited his own lie to a newspaper as the reason why the United States needed to go to war with Saddam Hussein. That's how it all began. Pictures of a lead pipe or aluminum pipe that was supposedly to enrich uranium. The thinnest and most pathetic of evidence began 20 years of displacement of nearly 40 million people, death, destruction, things that we have still not fully reckoned for, even as our current president sends our Afghani cooperators back to Afghanistan to their death. Um, this is like when people think about America across the world, they don't think about fucking cookouts, hot dogs and hamburgers, Star Spangled fucking hot pants. They think about this. Dick Cheney, his legacy was war, death, destruction, for profiteering, and the unitary executive theory, the pushing of the power of war onto the president, and more powers that belong to Congress, belong to the people specifically, to one man. So Dick Cheney has a direct responsibility, not only for the wars, the death, the destruction that he caused, but ongoing into the next war and the next Trump and whatever this presidency does and is capable of doing, he also bears responsibility for. So don't ask me to fucking shed a tear for one of the most evil men in history because I will not. His family, I don't wish them any ill, but I also don't owe them a whitewashed history of their father. And that's how I feel about it. I know that's not the upbeat way to end things, but
But
that's what it is.
also a very factual statement. You very clearly expressed the truth of the matter. He was a warmonger. And like
Yep,
you said, Kamala Harris killed her own campaign by bringing his daughter on the trail.
absolutely. That is one thing bipartisanly that every working family has known or knows somebody who fought in and around those wars that is messed up because of those wars. Nobody, nobody remembers those days fondly. Um, and nobody wanted to see that. That was just tone deaf as fuck. So anyway, the good news is that we are running with these elections. Mamdani campaign should be hopefully called before we go to bed tonight.
60% of the votes are in.
Hell yeah, should be soon. Congratulations. Thank you to everybody who voted. Thank you to everybody who listens. Thank you to everybody who make it the Derealization Nation a real thing. Please do like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. You can free subscribe on Substack. All of our stuff is and always will be free. But if you choose to, you can add a paid subscription, which really helps us out. If you buy the yearly subscription, I'll throw in the t-shirt for free. Why the hell not? On Black Friday, we will not be participating in capitalism. We will double the price of our t-shirts. So get one now before Black Friday. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Until next time, I'm John.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Brad.
And that's what's left.
The pro-life president, Donald J. Trump, defied a court order by refusing to feed the people of his country.
What a man.